Reckless talk. Son of a gifted. Hey, reckless talk. But I got expensive habits. Don't step in salt. I'm a real one, check my fabric.
All right. Hey, this is Don from Kenya Gunners TV. And today I'm being joined by Timber. So Timber is basically a Gunner. So as you all know, by the tomorrow there's an Arsenal game going on at 5:30 East African time, and versus Barcelona. So it's basically pre-friendly. So Timber, man, what do you make of it? I don't know if you've been watching all the preseason games, but what do you make of it? I mean, what do you make of the Arsenal versus Barcelona game?
It's going to be quite an exciting game.
Okay.
Because those two, Xavi and Arteta from La Masia. So you're definitely going to expect a very, very good game from both Barcelona and Arsenal. So you see, Barcelona plays the tiki-taka kind of football, possession kind of football.
Right.
They make it very, very hard for you to get the ball. But also, if you look at Arteta's team, I think he also has some element of La Masia in the team. But also, the team has that Premier League intensity, Very, very quick football, physical football. It's going to be an exciting game, but remember when we had the Barcelona versus Manchester United game last season in the Europa League. Actually, thought Barcelona. I thought Barcelona were going to give them a better game than what we saw, because they were played out of the park by Manchester United, which is something I did not expect. So I do think we have a good chance of winning this game. Yeah.
Okay. Well, for me, I don't know. I'm at a place I'm not really clear by there, because trust me, but I've been watching all the preseason friendly games. I watched the FC Nürnberg game we played. I watched the MLS All-Stars. Then I watched the Manchester United game. So it's after watching the Manchester United game, I basically have a lot of best way to say this, probably maybe uncertainty. In the sense that I feel like we're still building we basically don't have a mid right now. But the thing I'm telling you, if you watch the Man U game, it really exposed us and exposed the aspect that we probably need to work on our midfield. And actually, if you listen to Arteta, if you listen to his pre-match analysis and whatnot, he's saying that it will probably take 55 games for the new signings to gel in. So that is Declan Rice, and then there's Kai Havertz. So now, if you look at our midsection, but if you look at the midfield, there's Kai Havertz, there's Declan Rice, and then there was Odegaard. Remember, these three, but they've never played together. These are basically new signings. And if you watch the Man U game, basically exposed big time. So I'm at a place where I'm a bit worried. I'm honestly worried. Yes, Declan Rice is a good player. Kai Havertz, I have my reservation towards him because I never liked his game at Chelsea. But I'm a bit uncertain, by the way. I'm a bit uncertain. I don't think we're going to have it easy, because the Man U game actually really exposed our midfield. So there's quite some work to do. I feel like there's quite some work to do. With that midfield, I'm not confident, by the way, we'll win the game.
I'm not really worried about our midfield, because there are certain elements in that Manchester United games that you need to consider. Individual errors, especially the Gabriel mistake. I won't even talk about the Ramsdale. It wasn't really a howler, but you'd expect a Premier League top caliber goalkeeper to save that, The Gabriel mistake was a howler. Then we had a couple of missed opportunities as the game was beginning. Martinelli missed a very, very clear opportunity. But, if you look at that midfield of Rice, Havertz, and also considering that Timber was playing in an inverted fullback role, it's quite I think we have us as Arsenal fans have to be a bit patient because these guys were playing together for the first time in a
Yeah,
competitive match in their lives. So there's
exactly.
still more that we're going to get from this team.
Yeah.
I have high expectations of Rice and Timberland of Havertz, to be honest. But
Okay.
that was a similar situation when Arteta was signing people like Gabriel Magalhaes,
Mhm.
Ramsdale himself.
Yeah.
Even Odegaard, people had questions when he was signing these players.
Yeah.
So as Arteta is progressing through his career, I'm now beginning to trust the process. Yeah?
Okay.
When he says 55 games, I do not think it's actually 55 competitive games. He's actually putting in a couple of games because they actually do serious workout sessions when they are practicing at
Right.
Colney or wherever they are.
Mhm.
But I expect this team to be ready for at least the Community Shield. And that game is actually going to be a proper litmus test because we're going to be playing against the current
Yes.
champions of England and Europe, Man City. But
Yeah.
moving forward, I do not think that Arteta is going to work with a pivot of Havertz and Rice again.
Mhm.
I foresee a situation where Partey comes into the team,
Okay.
Partey playing in that number 6 role,
Mhm.
and Rice doing the Xhaka role. You remember
Yeah.
last season, Xhaka was playing actually as an attacking midfielder. He's actually very,
Okay.
very good at it. So if
All right.
Arteta was able to do that with
Yes.
if Arteta was able to do that with Xhaka, then I
Timber.
definitely expect him to do a much better job. Yeah.
So Timber, just give me a second.
Sorry.
There's somebody on my door. Let me just answer a call on my door right now. Then I'm getting back to you. So just a second. Yeah. So yeah, Timber. So let me ask you, by the way, particularly
Yeah.
for the thing is this. Even me, I'm not really. Let me understand this. I'm worried about the game you're going to play with Barcelona, but at the
Yeah.
same time, let me ask you a question. By the way, what are basically expectations this season? Remember last season we came
Yeah.
close by the winning the Premier League. All right.
Yeah.
So remember the fans' expectations are here. People
Yeah.
by the actually expecting us by the to win the Premier League. Nothing
Yeah.
less of that. Not even win the Premier League, probably even win the Champions League. Because we basically have a squad. Remember, last season we didn't have squad depth. And our squad depth by the compared to Man City, we had nothing on Man City. Saliba
Yeah.
got injured, Partey with his on and off injuries. At the end of the day, we started capitulating. Pressure kicked in, and we lost it. But then, now my question out to you, by the way, what are your expectations this season? I mean, why are you looking at our team? I mean, what do you want as an Arsenal fan, as a Gunner?
I expect Arsenal to challenge for the title. I will
Okay.
not say win the title because even in Arteta's own admission, we were
Yeah.
way ahead of schedule last season. Yeah.
Right.
But even if we did not win the Premier League this season, I want us
Mhm.
to cement our position as a
Yeah.
top 3 side in the Premier League, at least, and
Okay.
challenge seriously for the Champions League.
Okay.
Because it's a very, very young side. I do
Mhm.
not think that team is in its peak condition at the moment. You have
Right.
Saliba, who's 22, Saka 21, Martinelli 21. It's a
Mhm.
very, very young team. Now, can you imagine how the level this team is going to be playing at when they're at 23, 24? No,
Yes.
we have something to be excited for the next few years. So I will not stress myself and say that Arsenal is going to win the league this season, but I want
Mhm.
them to challenge and give us a good season, just like last season, yeah. And who knows, if you play well till the season ends, you never know
Yeah.
where you're going to end up. We may actually even win the Premier League, yeah,
That's good. I like what you're saying because that is quite realistic. But remember, if there are people who have been so patient with the club is Arsenal fans. And trust
yeah.
me, if you ask most Arsenal fans right now, the expectations is to win the Premier League.
Yeah,
Nothing
that's
less,
what we
nothing.
need. We need a team that challenges for the title, not the past couple of years where you actually challenging for the top four. It's actually, these are good times for us, that we have a team that is actually able to challenge for the Premier League, that teams actually fear. And there wasn't much last season that could have gone wrong for us to not win the Premier League, but it did. It showed a lot of inexperience where we threw away a 2-0 lead away versus Liverpool, the draw against Southampton, the draw against West Ham. I expected if we had gotten 6 points in those games, we would have actually pushed City all the way to the end, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So with this young team, I know they're going to learn from the experience.
Yeah.
And these preseason games, especially tomorrow and next week's game against Man City in the Community Shield, are a very, very good litmus test to show us where the team is at the moment. But
absolutely,
I would say be excited. I'd say be very, very excited. Yeah.
Okay, the famous cronky words. Be excited.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, sure.
No problem. Yeah, so for the Barcelona game, what scores are you looking at? What scores are you looking at? Both Arsenal and what scores are you looking at?
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Okay, so how many? How many for both sides?
I predict a 3-1 scoreline. Arsenal to win.
So 3-1.
Definitely. I'm being biased because I'm an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at the level where Barcelona are playing in the La Liga right now. And I do not believe there are many teams that actually give them a challenge at the moment. Maybe it's because the Premier League has become such a big financial powerhouse and it's so competitive. Every game is a challenge. So I think we are going to prove to be a bit too much for Barcelona. But who knows? Never underestimate. Xavi is also a Guardiola prodigy like Arteta. So it's actually going to be a very, very exciting. For football fans, this is going to be a very, very good game to watch. But I'd like to see Partey and Rice partner together in the mid, then Odegaard in that number 10 role.
Okay.
Like Partey sweeping up behind Odegaard and Rice. And now Rice performing that box-to-box role. I've seen him score a couple of goals where he's run with the ball from his own box. I was thinking, actually, this is a better version of Xhaka that we signed. But otherwise, why are we signing a player for £100 million? And we just let Xhaka leave right when the deal was confirmed. So I actually think Havertz is not the replacement for
Xhaka.
For Xhaka, it's more Rice. Havertz is supposed to more be a partner for or a substitute for Odegaard, considering also Fabio Vieira has underwhelmed. But this Arsenal versus Barcelona games is actually going to be a very, very. Remember, these guys still have Lewandowski. When he used to play in the Champions League, this guy was our bookie man. To score every game, you'd expect Lewandowski to score not just 1, 2 or 3 goals.
Yeah, very
so he has that kind of confidence when playing against Arsenal. The good thing it's not a competitive match, but it's these preseason games are becoming quite competitive because they're usually precursors to what teams are actually going to do during the season. So I hope he puts in the best team out there, and I also hope Barcelona do the same. Because it's going to be a very, very big season, very, very big season for Arsenal, and I hope they can show us, they can give us a glimpse as to what we can expect this season.
All right. So for me, like I told you, by the way, I'll give it my scores. I'll give it a 1-0 to the Arsenal. Reason being is that I still have my reservation, but towards the gelling of the players. But like you said, the essence of these preseason games is to basically give us a test and exactly know what we need to fix in. Like I believe the game that we lost against Man U by the it was quite some good lesson. We basically need to know where to fix. But I believe the future is quite bright. the 55 games that
Yeah.
Arteta is talking about for the players to gel, maybe that's a mind game kind of thing. I'm sure you know Arteta, but it is with his mind. So for me, I'm looking at a 1-0. In being there's still a lot of gelling by there that needs to go on between the new signings. But quite some interesting times ahead of us. Yeah, anyway, Timba, thank you for showing up. Will you be watching the game tomorrow? It's 5:30 a.m. Kenyan time.
Sure. Yeah.
Or you'll wake up to it. I'll be live streaming it, by the way. So I don't know if I can probably send you the link. We probably watch it together.
Yeah, let's see about that. Yeah, but I'm
All
gonna
right.
watch it. I'm going to
Okay.
start like 30 minutes before I wake up. So I just wake up earlier than usual. But I hope they give us a good game, yeah?
All right, so no problem. What I'll do is I'll give you a buzz if you're available.
Yeah.
I'll just share the streaming link. Then you can be watching as we comment on the game.
Sure.
All right, man. Thanks for
All
showing
right,
up,
thank you,
man.
man.
I'll be seeing you on the next one.
Karibu sana.
Aya,
Okay.
fiti. Aya.
All right.